Hey, YouTube. Okay, this is a very overdue updated Thrive experience video for myself. I will admit YouTube is not something that I used very often until recently. However, back in the day in 2015, when you wanted to make a video, even to upload to Facebook, YouTube is where it was at. That was back before we could go live on Facebook. And nowadays, with Facebook and Instagram and all of those awesome platforms having the opportunity to go live to communicate with your audience, YouTube kind of went on the wayside for me until most recently a video that is posted below. Like I said, from 2015, it's an oldie. Started getting some activity and some comments, and some of you were interacting, and that was exciting and that was fun, except that video is really old and I look way different. My experience has changed way different. Recording videos, I think I've come a little ways. I watched that video and I'm just a little embarrassed. It's pretty monotone. It's pretty boring. It's factual, and a lot of those facts are just exactly the same today. But it was time. It was time to update. So here's what I'm going to do today. I want to just kind of briefly share my Thrive experience with you. I have been thriving for over 4 years, so I've come a long way since that video was made. That video was made shortly after I had started thriving. I started thriving October of 2014, and I don't remember the date that I made that video, but it was 2015, I think, kind of early in the year. So anyway, a lot's changed. A lot's, still similar with the products and how we take them and all of that good stuff. So I won't go too much into that. But it's just fun to share my story and update you guys, especially if you have followed my journey at all. You're due for an update. So, like I mentioned, I started thriving in October of 2014. A little bit about me. I am from Minnesota, so we have 4 very extreme seasons, and I was a childcare provider. I was in the corporate world for many, many years, and then decided to be a work-at-home mom and opened a childcare business. And so being a mom to 4 young kids and also bringing in 10 kids into my home in addition to that for more than 10 hours a day for a long time, I was an exhausted mama. I was cranky, irritable, exhausted, counting down the hours until bedtime almost every day. And I was an avid Mountain Dew drinker. I was very good at that. I was drinking anywhere from 4 to 6 cans of Mountain Dew a day, from waking all the way until probably taking one to my bedside with me at bedtime, which is, now I think back on that, oh my gosh, you guys, no wonder that everything was just a mess and it was wreaking havoc. But I had a friend who was thriving. She was one of my very close friends. But I didn't ignore her. I just kind of kept my blinders on for a really long time because I did not know what Thrive was. I didn't understand it, and I didn't ask her because truly I just have so many sensitivities to things and stuff that I can't take them. So I truly just didn't think it would be something that, number one, I could take, or number two, that it would do anything for me. I just didn't know what it was, though. Education is power. So I had a day that was kind of my rock bottom. We all have those when you are finally sick and tired of being sick and tired. Being a daycare mama, and my kids at the time were still napping. My older 2 were in school, and it was nap time, and the kitchen was still a disaster. I hadn't even cleaned up lunch. I was having a Mountain Dew, eating some M&Ms, watching some Netflix, and trying to get my second wind for when the kiddos woke up. So it was only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I should not have been exhausted yet. I had not run a marathon, but I felt like it. And I kind of decided, you know what have I got to lose? It is time. It's time to talk to my good friend and just see what this Thrive stuff is all about, because she's got her sparkle back and the inches are falling off and all of these crazy things are happening for her, and she can't say enough good things about it. What often happens for us as Thrivers is when our closest friends and family, who are often the last to jump on board with us and finally have a leap of faith and try it, is we are so excited when you say you're ready, because we know what Thrive is. We know what the benefits are. We know what it can do for each and every person. It's premium, all natural, premium, I already said that, premium grade nutrition. It's over 100 vitamins, minerals, amino acids, digestive enzymes, probiotics, prebiotics. It's just all these crazy good things for you. And so we know what it'll do for you if you give it enough time, if you listen to us and you take it consistently and accurately, etc. So she was excited for me. I don't want this to get too long, so I'm going to kind of fast forward, but What I've found with just thriving for a short amount of time, now a lot of people need 10 to 14 days up to the full 8-week experience before they really start to acclimate and get those amazing benefits that we talk about. And I'll talk a minute about what those are. But it didn't take me all that long. Now I knew to do it correctly, so I knew no Mountain Dew, which I didn't think I'd succeed with, but I did. And I knew I had to drink some water. Water being so vital, and I was drinking no water prior to Thrive. I mean, I'd go days, which is it's crazy to me to think about that right now. If you're not a water drinker, it's okay. It's scary, but truly, you believe me, it's crazy, but you will crave it. You will want it. Your body, as you start filling your nutritional gaps and it starts operating better and feeling better and getting healthier, you start craving the healthy stuff, the salads, the greens, the veggies, the water. It's science, but it feels like magic. So anyway, I was feeling pretty fantastic pretty early on. In fact, just a few days of thriving had me convinced that this was something I needed in my life. 3 things. I needed it in my life for my own health and wellness and sanity. Number 2, I knew my family would really appreciate if I would continue to take it. The mood support that comes along with Thrive, my family was soaking it up. And number 3, I knew that pre-Thrive me was normal. Moms, dads, women, men, this day and age, we stretch ourselves so thin. We are so busy. Taking care of ourselves is really the last thing on our minds. And drinking too much caffeine is definitely the American norm. And so I knew I had all these names running through my head. I had all these friends and family members and neighbors and childcare parents and people that I'm like, oh my gosh, they have got to experience this. If I'm going to put this in their hands, I might as well be smart about it. And I might as well jump on board and be a promoter, which is free to do. It's free to be a customer or a promoter to have that account. I might as well do that. And I did purchase my first order. My very first order is the only order I ever purchased. I purchased an order for me and I purchased an order for my husband. But because with Lavelle is our company, Thrive is our product, our 8-week experience, I was able to make those first 2 purchases. And because if you refer just to friends and family, your closest, most favorite people trust you and jump on board with you and start their own Thrive experience, your next month is free and that can continue on. So in over 4 years, because it was 4 years last October, so almost 4.5 years, we've never paid for our personal product. My husband and I have thrived for free for over 4 years, which is pretty incredible for a company to offer that for only 2 referrals. I've just never seen that or heard of that before. So that was huge for us. That was, free. There's no way we couldn't afford it, right? But anyway, I jumped on board and became a promoter because first of all, we could all use that supplemental side hustle income. And second of all, I knew I could help a few people with this. What I didn't know is a couple things. That as I started thriving myself, and as I took my capsules upon waking, my lifestyle mix 20 minutes later, and slapped on this pretty little DFT, this sticker. How can I get you? There you go. I want you to see it without it glowing. That I would become a healthier, happier, more energetic CrossFit mom. That was pretty cool to add that title to my name. That I would have the energy that after the daycare doors closed, I could still have and feel like I had something left to give to my family, that I could join a CrossFit gym, that I could make healthier choices, that I could kick an 8-can-a-day Mountain Dew habit, that I could then share the love by sharing my story and help hundreds of other people change their lives by having some faith and listening and doing it correctly and starting their own Thrive experience. And I tell you what, nothing beats the stories that come from people who have started with you and that you've helped get on their, start on their journey. Oh, it's the most rewarding experience. So better sleep, amazing digestion support, which was huge for me. When we talk about Thrive, we kind of talk about it all. Gut health is huge. Gut health is the primary place where Thrive starts. And the gut is the second brain. So, everything, diseases, everything is tied to the gut. Gut health is so, so, so important. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I became a Thriver and I started working closely with my leader who is now one of my best friends and a dietitian who knows all about digestion. And I know so much now. Again, knowledge is power. Knowledge and information is also not a commitment. I like to make sure people remember that. Simply having a conversation with me does not commit you to anything. It truly just gets you the information so you can make an informed decision whether or not this is something that's for you to try. What else? I retired from daycare. That's a big thing. So after doing it for 8 years, in June of this past summer, so June of 2017, I closed my daycare doors and I get to be a full-time mom. I get to do things like the wrestling social events. I get to do things like PTA. I get to do things like the yearbook. I get to do things like moms and muffins at my children's school. I get to do all these extra things. I get to take on extra projects because I have the time to do it. I'm in my office a lot when my kiddos are at school because now all my kids are in school, which means I get days at home alone to either do housework or be in my office helping other promoters or other thrivers get started. And it's just such a blessing. We are leaving in a few weeks for the Dominican Republic. That's a blessing because that is a trip that we earned. It is fully paid for, all expenses paid for us. And my husband and I get to just soak up each other. It truly is a vacation. It's not a conference. It's not meetings. It truly is a vacation that we've earned and that they give us. And my husband and I get to just soak up each other and reconnect and break away from momming and dadding and doing yearbook stuff and just really be on vacation together outside of the Minnesota winter, which is exciting. So I think I covered it all. I will answer questions, so post below. If you have something crazy to say or you don't agree with what I've said, move along. Sometimes the comments that come up on YouTube are really interesting. I delete them and I will block you. But if you have something truly, genuinely that you want to ask or share or positive, post below. I'm all about us supporting each other and positivity and information. And you can find me on Facebook. We are Jenny Troy Steffes on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. So hit me up. And I just wish nothing for you but for you to thrive in life. You're living every day, so live it to the fullest. You truly don't want to just survive. You want to thrive. And that is my goal, to help as many people as I can do just that. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.